Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now July 9th of 2020, and ever since the official release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world were very skeptical about the future of Star Wars by Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, and of course everybody else involved over at Lucasfilm, really steering things in the right direction for Star Wars now. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that they are very desperate at this point to really get the ball rolling again, to really bring Star Wars back on its feet to the point of where it was before Disney took over Lucasfilm back in 2012, which really was a big year. You know, we do know that during that year is when a lot of Star Wars Legends was completely canceled or, you know, completely thrown out the window, and that Disney was either reworking some of Legends or just not using any of it in any way, shape, or form. Thankfully now, we are now in a position where Disney is going to be using tons of Star Wars Legends material for their new Star Wars universe with Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, George Lucas, everybody else working on this new Star Wars EU that they actually aim to become far larger and even more successful than the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which that's going to be a very hard task to really complete. It's going to take a lot of time and effort to really get things down correctly. Now, let's focus on Dave Filoni. Now, Dave Filoni is a very important man in Star Wars. In fact, he is the true protege of George Lucas. He is the actual person who made the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels happen, and he's going to be involved with new timelines as well. Now, beyond all of this, what's really intriguing all has to do with Filoni himself, and yes, even Kathleen Kennedy. Now, specifically, since the end of the Skywalker saga, both Disney and Lucasfilm have been focused on developing their new Star Wars universe that will evolve the Star Wars brand and will introduce a new mythology to the Star Wars fandom. It's explained that behind the scenes, many changes are being made to the new Star Wars universe, and that Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are working hard together as a team to make things right. It's described that recently creator Dave Filoni almost quit from the Star Wars franchise before Kathleen Kennedy's creative power was taken away. Now, it's noted that Dave Filoni, when working on the Clone Wars, just before production ended, is that Kennedy wanted Dave Filoni to exclude Darth Maul from the TV series and take the character out of the TV show, and to also focus less on both Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi, to focus on new characters instead. Once again, you can see the creative differences already brewing that would lead to Dave Filoni, of course, having a lot of issues with Kathleen Kennedy. How can you even think about taking out Darth Maul and focusing less on Anakin and Obi-Wan in a series called The Clone Wars? Moving on. Now, it's described that Dave Filoni was getting so frustrated at Star Wars in general, to the point where Kathleen Kennedy nearly pushed him over the edge to no longer being a part of this massive franchise. Not just that, but also, Kennedy also did not want Dave Filoni involved with the Kenobi TV series in any way, shape, or form before the rewrites were initiated, and believed that Filoni being involved with the Kenobi series would only make the series feel too cartoony, and that she did not trust him to handle a live-action Star Wars series that would feature a character from the prequel trilogy era. So here's the problem with Kathleen Kennedy, and here's a big problem with, you know, her ways of having creative differences with nearly everybody. Everybody, to the point where it was even with J.J. Abrams, it was even with George Lucas. The thing about this with Dave Filoni is that Dave Filoni knows his style, he knows his brand when it comes to the Clone Wars and Rebels. It's basically his own creation. Of course, George Lucas lended him the keys to doing so, but Dave Filoni, at the end of the day, was the true creator of these two massive TV shows that, quite frankly, are very successful. A lot of fans love it. A lot of fans love the characters like Ahsoka Tano and more. So for Kathleen Kennedy to drive Filoni so insane to the point where he would almost quit Lucasfilm, almost step away from Star Wars, because of these creative differences of having him take Maul out of the Clone Wars Season 7 and focusing less on Anakin and Obi-Wan, that's the core of the story. That's exactly why the Clone Wars Season 7 was so amazing, is because it really focused on those specific key characters, and even Ahsoka Tano. And not just that, but also Kennedy didn't even want Filoni involved with the Kenobi TV series because she felt that him being involved with that would actually make the series feel too cartoony, and that she did not trust him to handle a live-action Star Wars TV series with a prequel trilogy character such as Kenobi being portrayed by Ewan McGregor once more. So the fact that Kathleen Kennedy did not trust Dave Filoni is once again a big red flag. Big red flag, at least for me, because Filoni knows his stuff. He knows his lore, he knows what the fans want, and I think it's one of the main reasons as to why the Clone Wars Season 7 did so well. Was the Clone Wars Season 7 a little slow in the beginning? I would say yes, it was a little slow. But boy, did it really pick up, and let me say, was it iconic and legendary. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.